Hello students. So in previous class we have already studied how the earth was formed and what was the condition of the earth. That is the temperature was very much high and the rain was formed and the ridges and furrows were grown and how the first life was begun. We have studied in yesterday's class and we already studied different types of chemicals which were evolved in the earlier. For example, organic compounds were converted into inorganic form, right? Inorganic into organic and organic into colloidal form, right? And the colloidal different formation of life has been taken. Then apart from this, we have already studied theories, that is conservation theory and the microsphere theory. Then we have studied that from yesterday's class we have studied that the first form of life was came into existence, right? Then after that further what are the changes has been taken place. So today we will study that the first form of life which was formed on the earth, it was the heterotrophs. So you already know what do you mean by heterotrophs and autotrophs, right? The first form of life which was formed, it was heterotrophs. These heterotrophs they consumed all the surrounding molecules. They consumed all the surrounding molecules and they draw the energy in the form of the fermentation, right? So due to this what had happened, there was changes in the carbon and carbon compounds. Okay, so here listen here. After the chemical evolution, it has given rise to the biological evolution. So far till yesterday's class we have studied what are the chemicals, how they have given rise to the life we have studied, right? So this chemical evolution, it has given rise to the biological evolution. So now what are the changes will take place, we will study now. So here the first primitive life or the living organisms were heterotrophs. Heterotrophs means which depends upon the other organisms for the food. Okay. What happens here means these heterotrophs, they started consuming the surrounding molecules and they obtained energy in the form of the fermentation. Surrounding molecules they started consuming. So due to this what had happened, it has increased in the carbon and the carbon compounds in the surrounding. What happened when it has started consuming all the surrounding molecules and there was an increase in the carbon and the carbon compounds in the surrounding. So this increase in the carbon compounds, it has led to the random change in the mutation. This lead to the random change in the mutation in pre-cell to the cell. Okay, so again here this mutation, it may be of useful or it may be of harmful or it may be the neutral. But one of the beneficial uses which has occurred is the formation of the chlorophyll molecules. This mutation, what it has changed, it has led important change or the beneficial change which is known as the formation of the chlorophyll molecules. Okay. After the formation of the chlorophyll molecule, what happened here? These autotrophic organisms were formed. After the formation of chlorophyll molecules, the autotrophic organisms were formed. Okay. So then this change is responsible for converting the reducing atmosphere into the oxidizing atmosphere. Means after the formation of the autotrophs molecules, that is after the formation, this chlorophyll molecule, it has led to the formation of the autotrophs, right? So when these autotrophs were formed, this had been it has been helpful for reducing atmosphere into the oxidizing atmosphere. Reducing atmosphere was converted into the oxidizing atmosphere. So after the oxidizing atmosphere, what had it did means it had increased the atmospheric oxygen and increased the atmospheric oxygen and the formation of the ozone layer. This it has led to the increase in the atmospheric oxygen and it also had been the formation of the ozone layer. After the formation of the ozone layer, it has prevented the entry of harmful ultraviolet rays reaching to the earth. Right? What does it do? After the formation, that is, it has increased the atmospheric oxygen and the formation of the ozone layer. After the formation of the ozone layer, it has helped in reaching the harmful ultraviolet rays to the earth. When the harmful ultraviolet rays were stopped reaching to the earth, it has provided the stability for the progressive form on the life. After the means when they have stopped reaching to the earth, what it has did, it has provided a stability for the first form of life. Okay. So these are the sequential changes which has taken place in the formation of the life, right? From the primitive, that is from the primitive or the prebiotic environment, slowly it has been converted into different stages, right? Like micromolecules were converted into the macromolecules, then the simple inorganic compounds were converted into the organic compounds, and the organic compounds were converted into the complex organic compounds, right? Slowly, gradually, the changes has been taken place in the evolution, right? The first form of life which was formed, it was in the form of heterotrophs, right? That from these heterotrophs, they started consuming all the surrounding molecules. When they started consuming the surrounding molecules, what it has led to the increase in the carbon and carbon compounds in the surroundings. When it has started consuming all the molecules from the surrounding, it has led to the increase in the carbon and the carbon compounds in the surrounding, and due to increase in the carbon compounds, it has led to the mutation. This mutation, it is also useful, that is, it has got many changes. Either it may be useful, or it may be harmful, or it may be neutral. But the most important change is that it has led to the formation of the chlorophyll molecules. After the mutation only, it has led to the formation of the chlorophyll molecules. And what are the beneficial uses of these chlorophyll molecules? It has led to the formation of the autotrophs. Okay, so you already know what we mean by autotrophs, right? So then these autotrophs, it has played a very important role, that it has been responsible for reducing atmosphere into the oxidizing atmosphere. It had converted reducing atmosphere into oxidizing atmosphere. Then apart from all this, the most important function of this formation of the autotrophs is that it has been increased the atmospheric oxygen and the formation of the ozone layer. Due to the formation of the ozone layer only, the harmful ultraviolet rays, means it has prevented the entry of harmful ultraviolet rays to the earth, and as also it has provided the stability for the progressive form of the life. Okay, so now once again we will study all these stages in the form of the schematic representation. Okay students, so far we have studied the origin of earth and the evolution of life on the earth in detail. So next we will study once again in the form of the schematic representation how the life has been originated on the earth from primitive earth. Okay. So as you already know that the first that is our earth was completely primitive. It's a prebiotic environmental condition. We have studied what was the condition of the earth, right? And earlier there was no traces of life were seen on the earth, primitive earth, right? Then slowly how the life has been started. From the primitive earth, it has given rise to the atoms in the free state. The atoms were seen in the free state like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. The atoms were seen in the free state, and these atoms, it has led to the formation of inorganic molecules, right? The free state of atoms were converted into inorganic molecules like methane, ammonia, hydrogen and the water. From inorganic molecules, it was transferred into the simple organic molecules. From inorganic, it is transferred to simple organic molecules, which includes amino acids, monosaccharides, fatty acids and glycerols. Right. Then from the simple organic molecules, it has been converted, it is transferred to the macromolecules, which are proteins, polysaccharides, fats and the nucleic acid, right? From the macromolecules, it has led to the microspheres or the conservatives. So here we have already studied that how the first form of life has been started. That is the aggregation of the proteins we have studied, and the first form of life, which was first form of the cell which was seen here, we already studied in the previous classes. That is microsphere theory and the conservative theories, right? From the microsphere, the first form of cell was produced, which is known as the protocell. That it includes nucleoproteins plus complex and the organic molecules and the enzymes, right? From the protocells, they are transferred into the anaerobic heterotrophs. As you already know that the first form of life which was produced, they were in the form of the heterotrophs, right? Then these heterotrophs are slowly after the changes, it has been lead to the mutation, and then after the mutation, it has lead to the formation of the useful molecules, that is the chlorophyll molecules. Then from the chlorophyll molecules, it has led to the formation of autotrophs, right? That is the anaerobic heterotrophs, they are transferred to the aerobic autotrophs, right? So after the formation of these autotrophs, it has resulted in the formation of reducing atmosphere into the oxidizing atmosphere. After the conversion of the oxidizing atmosphere, our environment completely, it has become the stable for the existence of the life, right? After this stabilization, the life force slowly began to form on the earth from cell. That completely the life has begun from the cell. Okay. From heterotrophs, it has transferred to the aerobic autotrophs, right? Here you have to keep in mind that after the formation of the autotrophs, it has led to the formation of life from the simple to the complex form, which you have already studied in your previous classes. That is in the animal kingdom, from protozoa to the chordata. That is, the life begin from the simple form to the complex form. That is one form of life, it has given to the existence of the new form. That is, a different varieties of life form has came into the existence, right? So in this way, in this simple schematic representation, we study how the earth or how the first form of life came into an existence from the primitive earth to the autotrophs, right? Once again, we'll have a glance. So it's a schematic representation or the significant events which has taken place during the origin of the life. First, the completely earth was in the primitive form. This primitive earth, it has given rise to the atoms which were in the free state, and it includes mainly carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and the nitrogen. These free state atoms, it has led to the formation of the inorganic molecules, which includes ammonia, methane, hydrogen and the water. Then from the inorganic molecules, it was transferred to the simple organic molecules, and these simple organic molecules were transferred to the macromolecules, right? From the macromolecules, it was converted into microsphere or the conservation. So here we have already studied that how the aggregation of proteins has taken place, right? From the microsphere, it has transferred to the protocell. From the protocell, it is converted into the anaerobic heterotrophs. From anaerobic heterotrophs, it has transferred to the aerobic autotrophs, right? This aerobic autotrophs, it has given rise to the formation of new life on the earth, and it also provided the stability for the formation of the new life. Okay, so next we'll move on to the Stanley-Miller's experiment. So Stanley-Miller's experiment, it has provided an experimental proof for the chemical evolution. By using this simple apparatus, he has created a prebiotic environment in the laboratory, and he has proved that how the chemical evolution has taken place by using this simple instruments and by using this simple apparatus, which is commonly known as Miller's experiment, right? So we'll study now what are the experimental facts or the events which are taken place in the Miller's experiment, right? So Miller, he has taken the mixture of gases like methane, ammonia and the hydrogen at the ratio of 1:2:2. He has introduced the mixture of gases. He has taken the mixture of gases, that is methane, ammonia and hydrogen, in the round bottom flask, and he has discharged the electrodes in this flask. Okay. Then in the another flask, he has taken the water, and the water was heated. Okay. And it was subjected to the prebiotic form. It was subjected to the prebiotic form, and when the mixture was subjected to the electric discharge, these chemicals, they came in contact with each other, they are interacted with each other. Then later on, these chemicals, they were collected from through the condenser, right? And this condenser, it was having the two walls, that is inlet and the outlet. The water was entered inside to the inlet wall, and it was collected out by the outlet, and the chemicals which were discharged, they were passed through the condenser, and from condenser it was collected in the trap. Okay, from this trap the chemicals again further they taken it for the analyzing. Okay, so what happens here in this experiment? Observation, the Miller, he has observed that it has been yielded the several amino acids and few simple organic compounds like hydrogen cyanide, fatty acids and the urea. By using simple experiment or by using simple mixtures, he has obtained the different compounds like amino acids, hydrogen cyanide, fatty acid and the urea. Okay, then after the conducting this experiment, what a conclusion the Miller has given from his experiment is that the Miller provided a vital proof that the organic which forms the building materials of life, they can be obtained from the simple chemicals. Means the chemicals or the organic chemicals which are required for the life, they can be obtained from the simple chemicals, or which are necessary for our life, they are obtained from the simple chemicals. So here in the Miller experiment, through this simple experiment only, he has subjected to the prebiotic form. Like for example, in our previous classes, we have already studied that how the atmospheric condition was present and how the due to heavy temperature, what was the condition of the earth. In the same way, he is subjected to this experiment those facts. Like for example, the boiling water, it was subjected to the hot soup. Okay, it was subjected to the hot soup, and in the condenser, what are the mixture of gases he has taken place. Here he has subjected to this spark discharge, where that is nothing but the energies. Like for example, the energies which are required, like lightning, ultraviolet radiation, volcanic eruption. In the same way, they were discharged to electrodes. Means completely the chemicals were hot, and later on these chemicals were collected in the condenser. That is, as you already know that after the heavy rain, after the rain, completely the earth was filled with water. Means after cooling, the earth has got the water holding capacity. In the same way, when these chemicals were hot, they were collected in the condenser. That is, they are brought to the normal. Then from the condenser, they were collected in the trap. That is, these traps were subjected to the furrows. How the water were filled in the furrows. In the same way, these chemicals, they were collected in the trap, and further it is taken for the analyzing. That is the different, what are the chemical compounds which are present in this, they were analyzed by this simple experiment. Okay, so this is the one of the experiment which was posed by the Stanley Miller. Means he has provided proof for the chemical evolution in his laboratory condition only by using the simple experiment which is known as the Miller's experiment, right? So once again we'll have a glance what did Miller did in his experiment. So let me say this Miller's experiment in short. So listen here. This boiling water, it was subjected to the hot soup. Then from this boiling, the vapors were passed through the spark discharging chamber from this boiling water. That is, when we compare to the prebiotic form, it was resembled. So it was resembled to the hot soup. From here, the vapors were entered to the spark discharging chamber. That is, it has with the help of the lightning effects, these mixtures of gases, they came in contact with each other. They have interacted. Then from here, the gases were condensed and they were collected in the condenser. Right? From the cooling effect, they were converted into liquid and they are trapped. They were passed to the trap. From the trap, the liquid was taken for the analysis. Right? So this is a simple experiment where the Miller has been conducted to prove to show that the simple compounds which are necessary, organic compounds which are necessary for the building of an organism, they can be obtained from the simple chemicals. Okay. So till now, this theory has been holding good, and it proves that the life has been originated from the chemicals. Okay. Okay. Stanley Miller's experiment. It's important for 5 marks. Only if the diagram is asked means it will be asked for 3 marks. Okay. Very oftenly this question has been asked It's very important. If explanation, if it is asked means it will be asked for 5 marks. Only diagram is asked means it will be for 3 marks. So just once we'll have a glance over the Miller's experiment. Right, what's the aim of this experiment? To prove the formation of simple organic compounds. Right. So what is the observation of this experiment? It is yielded several amino acids and few other simple organic compounds like hydrogen cyanide, fatty acid and the urea from simple organic compounds. Here it has yielded different compounds like amino acids, hydrogen cyanide, fatty acids and the urea. That was the observation which was made from this experiment. And what's the conclusion of this experiment at the end? Miller's experiment, it has been provided and vital proof that the organic compounds which form the building material of the life, they can be obtained from the simple chemicals. Okay. The compounds or the organic compounds which is required for our life, they can be obtained from the simple chemicals. That is from this simple experiment only he has proved that what are the chemicals which are required for our life, they can be obtained from the simple chemicals. Okay, that's about the Miller's experiment. Okay, so next we'll move on to the another part of this chapter, that is the theories of organic evolution. So here in this theories we come across two types. One is Lamarckism and another one is the Darwinism. So generally here Lamarckism, we generally refer it as a landmark because generally there is not much contribution of this Lamarckism, but even though we refer him, right, for the purpose that his evolutionary ideas were contributed by the Lamarck. The evolutionary ideas contributed by the Lamarck, it is generally we call it as an Lamarckism, and his ideas were written, it is written in the book which is commonly known as Philosophic Zoology. His book, all his ideas, generally Lamarck, he has contributed his ideas in the form of book. The name of the book, it is known as the Philosophic Zoology. Okay, so Lamarck has given the two principles, like for example, use and the disuse theory and inheritance of acquired characters. These are the two principles or the theories which were given by the Lamarckism. What does it mean? Use and the disuse theory. So according to this theory, use and disuse, the organs which we use will grow more stronger and stronger during the course of time, and which will not use, it will become a vestigial organ. Right? It is a nature rule. The organs which we use, it will grow and develop, and which will not use, it will become a vestigial organ. Some of the examples for use like giraffe neck, and for the disuse example is the vestigial organs. In the human body we come across different vestigial organs, that is the organs which we don't use in our body, it will become the vestigial. Okay, and the organs which we use during the course of time, it will grow and it will become the stronger. And this theory, it holds good. That is use and the disuse theory, it holds good. And the next theory comes the inheritance of acquired character. So according to the Lamarck, he told that the characters which we acquire during the course of time, that can be inherited to the progeny. What does Lamarck told? He told that the characters what we acquire during the course of time or during our lifetime, those characters that can be inherited to the progeny, right? But this theory was disproved. Actually, it is not possible. The characters which we inherit, it cannot be transferred to the progenies. Again, it was disproved by the Weismann. This theory that is inheritance of acquired character was disproved by the Weismann. Okay. So here in the Lamarckism, we come across two principles. One is use and disuse theory, and another one is inheritance of acquired character. Okay. So used organs will become stronger and they grow during the course of time, and the unused organs will become the vestigial during the course of time. Then the inheritance of acquired characters, so generally acquired according to the Lamarck, the organs which are inherited, it can be transferred to the, which we acquire, it can be transferred to the progeny, but it was disproved by the Weismann. Okay. So these are some of the concepts which we discuss in the theory of organic evolution about the Lamarckism, and next we'll move on to the Darwinism in the upcoming classes. So far in the today's class, we have come across what are the events which has taken place in the origin of the earth. With this form of schematic representation we have studied. Then we came across the most important experiment, that is the Stanley Miller's experiment, which is important for your exam. It will be asked for 5 marks or the 3 marks. With the diagram, it will be with the diagram explanation, it will be asked for 5 marks, and if only diagram will be asked for 3 marks. Then comes the theories of organic evolution. I mean theories, one is the Lamarckism and another one is the Darwinism. So Darwinism we will study in the upcoming classes.